This is my my entry for my leaf structure and development quiz for botany. So the first question is to draw diagrams and label and compare and contrast a hydromorphic leaf and an exomorphic leaf. So first thing we have here is the palisade parenchyma. This is like the primary place where photosynthesis occurs in this leaf. And then we have the spongy parenchyma. This is basically helps with gas exchange. And then we have the stoma, which does the primary gas exchange. And then we have the upper epidermis, and this helps protect the leaf. This side usually faces towards the sun, and the lower epidermis right here in the light green, this one is since this is like a water lily leaf, this one is facing towards downwards towards the water. And we have the vein where the xylem and phloem are, and then around the vein we have a bundle sheath, which kind of just protects it and like helps, not just protects it, but it helps move food and water along the vein. And then we have a sclerid. Basically, a sclerid. It increases the structural integrity of the leaf or the plant. Since it's a water plant, it needs to be a little bit more rigid to survive. Then there's trichomes. These little, I don't know if you can see them, the little dark green dots. And in between everything is intercellular space. There's a lot of it. Um, don't take this into account. This is just, I didn't want to draw the rest of the diagram. But most of these are basically spaces in between cells and stuff that help it with its buoyancy, since it has a bunch of like basically empty space to help it basically float more. And then we have the exomorphic plant, exomorphic leaf. So here we have the cuticle, which basically serves as protection. Um, yeah, well, and it serves as protection and to basically preserve water. And then we have the vein, same function as it was in the hydromorphic leaf. The xylem and phloem are here, and then around it, in another, this is another vein, obviously. And this around it, this is the bundle sheath, and this is the bundle sheath extension. Just a little bit more extra tissue around the vein. And here, this whole section right here, this whole blue section right here, is the upper multiple epidermis. This is the side that faces up towards the sun. And this has the same function as I said before. So does the spongy pericardium. And then the multiple epidermis is basically the one that's in the bottom, where it's not getting that much sunlight. So it's not really receiving, or the main place where photosynthesis occurs. This is mainly where photosynthesis occurs, since it's facing towards the light. And here we have trichomes. These ones are a little bit more they look a little bit more like hair-like structures, besides the dots in the last one. So yeah, these are the trichomes. They help with temperature regulation and for protection. And then we have a guard cell, which will basically, the guard cells, this is labeled guard cell, which would mean that this is a stomate, which helps in gas exchange. Basically, that's its main function of basically shooting out oxygen, inhaling CO2, and expelling water, I think, also. And similarities, they both have bundle sheaths. They both have spongy parenchyma, not chyma, parenchyma. They both have palisade parachyme. They both have stoma. They both have a lower and upper epidermis. Um, yeah, I think. Oh, they both have trichomes. So yeah, that's their similarities and their differences. Is everything I didn't list there, which would be the sclerid and the bundle sheath extension. And I think cuticle, but I could be wrong. So yeah, that's for the first question. And then the second question, explain the process of leaf abscission. So basically with leaf abscission, all the chlorophyll is being moved away from the leaf and into the stem, kind of. Basically, what happens is during leaf abscission, the leaf or the plant, it basically makes a layer, which is the abscission layer that breaks off the leaf. And then there's the protective layer that protects the stem from pathogens, or out like basically it just kind of closes up the area where it's going to be pretty much exposed. If it didn't, it would be exposed when the leaf falls off of the stem, so they're basically just closing that up before the leaf can fall off. And why this would be important to the plant, basically just to keep it alive and keep pathogens and parasites and stuff from getting into an opening in their stem. So that's my question. That's my answer for question 3. Question 2. For question 3, it's explain how stomates and trichomes can influence leaf structure. Question 3, explain how stomates and trichomes can influence leaf structure and development. So basically, with stomates, they help with gas exchange during photosynthesis. And when they're open, CO2 comes in and they release water and oxygen. And this helps the plant survive. Like, honestly, without the stomates, they basically wouldn't be able to breathe. They wouldn't be able to take CO2 in. So this probably they'd probably just die without them. And for trichomes, right? Trichomes, yes. Those are like little hair-like structures on the plant. They're used to regulate temperature and protection, and they prevent water loss. And that's a big one. When they help prevent water loss. So the more trichomes on a plant, I think this was in the lecture where it said, I think it was like I think desert plants, I could be wrong, had more trichomes on them to preserve water, to hold the water inside. I think all plants have these, or maybe not, but basically without trichomes, they wouldn't be able to hold as much water inside of the plant. So that's my answer for number 3. So number 4 is, what are the major similarities and differences between S3 leaves and S4 leaves? Use hand-drawn diagrams to support your answer. Okay. So this comes in. So with S3 leaves, similarities between S3 and S4 leaves. The similarities is they both have bundle cells. They both have veins, and they both are common during a specific season. C3 cells, they're the cool season plants. So like autumn and winter. I could be wrong about the winter one, but like autumn. The bundle sheath cells are very small on this one. Tiny, like they're so small right here. Like you can't even see them from all the way over there. They're tiny. So and the veins are widely spaced. So the veins are kind of far apart from each other. Kind of try to show it better. I mean, like you could use these two as an example instead of this one. I don't know what I did here. Yeah, so the veins are widely spaced on a C3, and on C4, they're warm seasoned. These are warm seasoned plants usually. Um, they have a large bundle sheath cells, and the veins are very closely spaced, so they're really close together. So the similarities and differences, and that's my answer for question 4. Um, yeah. So that's all I have. Everything is from the lecture. Yeah, thank you.